I'm going to start this video off saying this. This is about the moment 1,095 days ago. Exactly 3 years, right in this time frame. My life was about to change. Long story short, I never did gangs or drug life, informant-wise. But I was coming home from my now ex-girlfriend's house, heading to my apartment. I'm going to show you the entire route, pretty much from here, where the moment my life changed, to pretty much the route I've heard she took to meet me where I met her first. Okay, as you see the stop sign down here. Stoplight. Excuse me, I should be a little bit faster, but what I'm getting at is, right in here, my life really started to change. So it seems to still let a person, now, come to find out, would be Karena. Crossing Markland, coming this way. She had just got across, and she kept looking back behind her, kind of fidgeting. She did not look like she was tweaking out or on anything. It was just, something was wrong. You got that weird feeling back even here, how she's acting, it didn't seem right. So as you see, I would have been, hold on. I would have been on a bicycle, so I've been a little bit faster than what you're seeing now, but it's about the exact same time frame. I'm gonna show you the exact spot here in a second, but you're gonna see kind of as things progressed, got closer, she was still looking behind her, kind of just keep looking back almost like somebody's chasing her. It did not seem right whatsoever, and it really got my head burning right now. Like, it already had a creepy feeling, just something was off, didn't feel right. And the closer I got is literally the worse that feeling became. Okay, we're going to remember this spot here in about 2 seconds, so I'm going to count it down. 3, 2, 1. This spot exactly right here. I'm going to come back to it. I'm getting closer. She's still acting really skittish, almost like picking up her pace, like something was not right. She wasn't running, she wasn't jogging, but she was pretty briskly walking right about in here. She started picking up her pace and still looking behind her, almost like as though somebody's chasing her. Excuse me, I'm starting to catch a cold. Well, there's where something really did not start feeling right. Gave me the heebie-jeebies. My gut was already turning. I'm in butterflies. It's in knots. Don't know what it was. Something did not feel right. And as the closer I got, the more I see her wiping tears away, kind of, and still looking back behind her. Okay, well, I'm getting closer. And mind you, I'd be a little bit faster when my legs didn't give out on me like they are now, and I could go longer distances. I used to bike. This is what I was doing. I was on my bike on this side of the road, heading from Walnut and coming up this way. By now, she's fully made it across. She's already about halfway through this parking lot on the sidewalk. I'm staying over to the left side, close to the road. Just, I've been taught, let the female have the inside. It's just a thing I've kind of instilled in me, and it's just respect out of the woman. If somebody's going to get hit, especially even if you're passing somebody, let the female pass on the right side. Say, we're going where we are now. Let them go on the inside, safe. So at that time you're passing them, something happens. Just like if you're walking with somebody, you always want the female to be inside, protected. Right about here is where I started turning around, because back there about halfway through where I'm at right now, probably 3 or 4 pushes ago, is right when I passed Karena. By then, I was seeing tears in her eyes. She looked scared as hell, and she kept looking like somebody's following her. So right about here, I'm sitting here like, okay, didn't think anything of it. I'm sitting here, keep going, and Gus started saying, "What the heck are you doing?" Turned back. Something did not look right. Yeah, that did not feel right when I went past her. So I kind of got up here, close to about where we are right now, doing the crosswalk. Didn't think of it. I'm sitting here kind of looking back, and if you can look where I'm sitting at right now, you can still see the road, the sidewalk, and anybody be on the sidewalk. I kind of stopped, put my feet down, and went to light a cigarette. Right about now, I got my cigarette lit, just put my pack away, put my lighter away, and something told me. And I started really listening to myself. Something did not feel right. It did not look right. And it's the selfless service. I was trained in the U.S. Army. One of the utmost ethos we had was selfless service. Respect, duty, honor. Right about now, I'm reminding myself, hey, I swore an oath. That didn't look right. Turn around and go see what's going on if you can help. So, give me a second. I'm going uphill, so it's going to be a little bit slower. I turn around. By this time, I got a cigarette in my hand, kind of puffing on it in my mouth, and started turning back. I end up kind of picking up my speed, I'm going to try going about the same speed. It's going to be a lot faster, mind you, if I was on a bike. I'm pushing myself in the wheelchair kind of uphill. But I'm sitting here, like I said, picking up speed, and was starting to catch up to her. So I started slowing down about now, and I happened a couple of times to look back because I kept seeing her turn back. As she's walking, it was like she was, like I said, in a brisk pace, but she's always looking back over this way. I don't know if you can see it, but it was towards pretty much right over here. Oops, sorry. Is Village Pantry, and there's the sidewalk that continues over Markland. It sort of starts hitting me in the gut. It really sinks in. Because this will be the 3rd year, day 1095, since I made a promise to this girl, and I'll tell you more about that up here. By right about now, I'm kind of slowing down, didn't want to spook or scare nobody, so I end up starting kind of just easily pedaling across the drive here. And anybody that knows where I'm at, Speedway's right here. This is Markland, right in front of me, towards Family Video. And if you can see that, I'm on Washington Street right now. And I'm going to do a 360. This is the Markland Family Dental. And try to give you a couple of views, kind of get your bearings. But, this is where I kind of, like I said, slow down. But I wanted to give you a kind of bearing where I'm at. Okay, I just about made myself dizzy. But here I am, kind of picked up a little bit more speed, kind of see if I can't just kind of get with her. So, like, get down, catch up to her. I'm already out of breath, and I'm sitting here at the same time, kind of slowing down, catching my breath, knowing I'm about to talk to somebody. So I kind of rested up a little bit, kind of breathing a little bit hard from riding away from my exits to about right there at Markland, turned around. So I'm pretty winded, and like when I went past her, I slowed down. It was out of respect. I didn't want to hit her just in case she moved. So I kind of slowed down when I came up on Karena, but I was kind of booking it down Washington right here. It was kind of cold. Doesn't feel anything like it does tonight. Well, right up in here, you're going to see these 2 bushes. That's about the time I caught up to Karena. Started asking her some questions like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? Right now, I got from her, I'm fine. I just had a really bad night. I was like, I was going to leave it as is, but she kept looking back behind her. This is the first time I heard her speak out loud. If they see me, I'm as good as dead. Something didn't seem right. She was upset. She was crying, real emotional, coming this way, on Washington towards downtown. We're going to keep going. So by now, up here by these bushes, and they kind of had a sign about the same time. Sorry. They had signs about the same time. So it's about this area right here. I finally cut up to her. So I'm kind of talking to her and finally got off my bike and put it to the side of me. Pretty much out towards the road, and it's just an extra barrier. They'll hit the bike before they hit me, and it gives her plenty of time. They're going to hit me in the bike. They're going to slow down after hitting me or a bicycle. And mind you, I had big tires, like, I'll show you real quick. Big old tires. Like this, I'm not trying to be exaggerated, but I can't really show you. I don't know if you can see that, but I got pretty good sized tires. I'm missing a thumb, so I couldn't do a circle. My bad. I know this seems a little bit long, but I wanted to give you a step-by-step what was going through my mind the moment I turned around, and when I finally caught up to her. She was really continuously, she slowed down a little bit, but started going to a crawl, kind of barely walking right about here. Mind you, this light, I'm almost positive was blown that night. The only light we had was actually further on down. This one was pretty dark, and it was actually just pretty dark right here where you sit. It looked pretty lit up. By now, I've been kind of talking to her, and she keeps saying, if they see me, I'm as good as dead. Can't really remember the names, but she was starting to just, wouldn't be saying she's stuttering, not high, not on anything. She was coherent. She knew what was going on. She knew her surroundings. And this spot where we stopped. I knew this light was not working at the time, and it was pretty dark right here. This is where we started talking, and I'm seeing her kind of walk this way a little bit and texting, calling, trying to get a hold of anybody on her phone. Mind you, I had my other phone, which I'll show you. At the time I was on a bicycle, but I had my other phones down here. One is an Obama phone, and the second phone was actually a prepay. So it's pretty much pay as you go every month. I was about $32 short of actually getting my airtime. Not only that, both of the batteries are dead. I didn't think I was going to do anything but go from my ex's to my house, which doesn't take me very long. Didn't think anything of it. Looked at my ex, was like, hey, I'll let you know when I get home. She kind of stays up, and as I'm going down the road, if my phone was working, I'd send her a text, kind of stop, smoke a cigarette a little bit, send her a text, kind of call her, be like, hey, I'm about halfway, I'm almost 3/4 of the way home, I'm almost home. That's what I'm used to. So having a dead phone, it wasn't no big deal with me. But we're going to continue this, and I'm going to try to make this where it's not so boring. It was about right in here, we started to stop and kind of turn back around. Well, mind you, I had a pretty thick black cotton trench coat on. Didn't button up in the front, didn't zip up in the front. All the buttons were broke off. So mind you, if I had my hands in my pockets, it kind of makes you shield. I'm sitting here talking to her. She's kind of walking behind me, kind of texting and still trying to call. And well, not getting anywhere. It took us a good 10-15 minutes to walk down to the alley, and I'm sitting here watching her text, stop, try to make a call, do a couple more texts, and she's starting to give up hope right about now. So I keep telling her, look, somebody's bound to answer a call. Don't give up. Well, we stopped by here, and the whole time she kept saying, if they see me, I'm as good as dead. I noticed if I moved like over here or over here and there was a clear eyesight to her, she's like, please don't move. I cannot stress enough I'm having a really bad night and I just want to go home. I'm sitting here more believing her more than anything now, because listen to the conversation we were having, kind of how she was literally making it well known she did not feel comfortable with the situation. Didn't know exactly where from the time, but she kept looking back almost like somebody be following her. Her own words, if they see me, I'm as good as dead. We end up walking back down this way. We did this a couple more times. I'm going to do that here in a second. And about this time, she finally sent a text out. And right about up in here, because she never really smoked cigarettes, but I'm not going to lie, she did have a couple cigarettes with me that night. And like she said, I really don't smoke, but my nerves are so freaking wrecked right now. I need something to calm my nerves. And right about now, she got a text back. Somebody finally was like, hey, what's up? What do you need, girl? Something along that way. I know she said something about it, but she just blurted it out, didn't really punctuate it. She just kind of said it under her breath, oh, hey, so-and-so got a hold of me. I was like, see, I told you, don't give up hope. Somebody's bound to answer a text or a call. Well, we didn't know exactly where. Come to find out, it was Paige Turley on the phone. Known drug felon, Kokomo, Indiana. I'll get to that here in a few. But finally, she got a call from her. She's like, call me when you can, ASAP. She finally got a call about down this way. And like I said, she was sitting here texting somebody. So we started back down this way again. Didn't go very far this time. And when she got the call, it was Paige Brand Turley on the other line. Saying, hey, we're leaving now. And we were going to go home, but hey, if you need a ride, I'll come give you a ride. So we kind of walked up and down a couple times, and as you're seeing, we're not going too far from this alley right here, and I'll show you the alley in a good 360 here in a second. But about this time, back in my head, I'm sitting here, something's not right. Normal person, I don't know if you would stay with them, kind of help them out, kind of see what's going on, see how you could help. But like I said, duty, honor, integrity, respect, selfless service, honor. There's more than the American soldier ethos. I'm a warrior and I'm a member of a team. I'm going to go on that, but it's hitting me in my gut. So about this time, we're still kind of standing down here, kind of about the mid-alley, kind of went down towards this tree you see right here, and kind of stopped, lit a cigarette, and decided kind of, well, let's walk back down this way. We didn't keep going very far because she kept getting further and further of how much she wanted to go back. The whole time she's looking left, right, kind of seeing if she could see somebody. Like I said, she does not look like she's tweaking out. She's not drunk. She's apparently clearly sober, because I was still having a fluent conversation. She was not slurring her words, and we were carrying on a conversation. We rode back again. Like I said, you see, we're not going very far from this alley. After once she got the call from Paige and gave an estimated time to be here, we kind of did this back and forth a couple times, kind of stayed down here. And like I said, this alley right now, the light across the road, I'm going to do you a 360 both ways. Just kind of get your bearings of where I'm at. This alley, many of you should know, is one of the alleys that comes up right before Speedway. But you get an idea where we are. We finally decided to come down this way. Like I said, it's still pretty dark down here, and we finally came down this way, since she knew she was having a ride. So this time I've been asking her, hey, if you're so scared something's wrong, make me a promise. If you see somebody, point them out. Maybe one person. I'm not in the best shape. You know, I'm not no superhero. I'm just a normal guy. Prior service, I have my order ethos, my creed just banging in my head, that was pounded in my head. And I just felt like I was doing something right. But it was at the same time, I don't know how to explain it. By this time, she said 5 or 6 times, they see me, I'm as good as dead. She did give some names out. I'm sitting there like fluently to remind the exact names, kind of exactly what she was talking about. It was happening so fast, so some of the information was like name-wise. She said it, but with people saying names and kind of pushing different directions in the case, I'm not going to open that can of worms. But okay, we kind of stopped right here again. She did get a call, and like I was saying, I was starting to ask her, can we go to Speedway? It's lit up, it's going to be safer, it's actually not in the dark, and it'd be a whole lot safer if we kind of go over there. Then if your phone's about to die, which it was by now, she's used up what battery she had left, trying to text and call everybody. Used the crap out of her phone, and she kept going power-wise down. So she started really getting kind of antsy and kind of not feeling too safe, but she kept blasting in my head, keep on saying, like, if we were to go over there, if they see me, I was good instead. I can't do it. I won't do it. She wouldn't get the law involved. At the time, it kind of, okay, made me wonder, okay, what the hell did I get myself into? Pushing that aside, knowing I swore an oath back in 2005 for the American people and the American way of life. Do what you choose to do, either right or wrong, or even if you have just done something criminal or whatever, I'm not a person to judge. Don't judge by color, don't judge by really anything. I'm kind of open-minded when it comes to that. I got gay family, you get the idea. So I'm not gay bashing on some of the names about to give out and some of their ties. I don't want that to be thinking I am trying to bash anybody by any means. We finally started kind of stopping every once in a while. She'd kind of look back, make sure nobody's looking. And I made her make me another promise right here. Like I said earlier, just to make sure we're clear, if you see somebody, literally, just let me know, point them out, and run. Don't look back. Now this is where it's really going to start hitting me in the gut. We made it to about right here. And again, it's not the most lit up area down here. Even this alley was pretty dark that night. Kind of more remote, it's just down the way from there. And as you can see, I'm trying to do a real slow 360, let you kind of get an idea going both ways. And when I turn back around, I'm going to go into the story more. But you see, we're down here past the corner. Can't really see past the corner to the sidewalk. But this whole conversation from that alleyway to this alleyway, when she kept saying, if they see me, I'm as good as dead, and just kind of, I wouldn't say she said it like 50 bazillion times, but she said it a good bit. And at first it was just to get it in my head. Look, I'm being 100% honest. Something's not right. I'm scared. I'm having a really bad night. I just want to go home. This is some of the exact words. Sorry. Kind of had to spasm real quick. But what I was getting at is, by now, she's gotten through to my head. Something's not right. My own self, I'm already starting to feel this bone-chilling, that I cannot really describe it. Most of you know what I'm talking about when you get the chills down your spine. Somebody's watching you, but you don't see somebody. Especially Army life, if it teaches you one thing, an unseen enemy is by far the worst enemy. They can see you, they can attack you, shoot you, come up on you. You have no clue where they're coming from. Left, right, up, down. She didn't really specify what she was looking exactly at this way, but she just kept, when she was saying, if they see me, I'm as good as dead, she'd be kind of looking back this way. We're sitting here just talking, kind of. She got another couple cigarettes off of me. We're kind of sitting down here now, and she got another call from Paige saying she was on Markland heading this way. By now you get the idea. I'm not trying to drag it out and make this a super long video and bore you, but by now we kind of stopped kind of right in here, and I want to show you the exact spot here in a second. I'm back out my screen, and I'm going to go directly in the middle of it. Back out my screen real quick for you, because I want you to see this exact spot right here. I'll make it a little bit easier to say. See, sorry, my bad. Give me a second, I'm trying to make it a little bit easier. But as you see, about right there, I'm going to say about right in here, is where Paige, mind you, I'm going to do this real quick, and so you get an idea where we are. I'm going to try doing this best I can. I'm going to go up about right here, is where her foot left the pavement, and literally, her last footstep is about right here where I'm at. If you look around, you get an idea kind of where we are. Down the alley, you get the idea. She didn't go very far. About halfway through, or almost 3/4 of the way through the sidewalk, Paige pulled in, and one thing I do remember more than anything is, that's where I got so many vivid memories of this, because there was a white Chevy S10 Blazer. I'm thinking like a 94. It was kind of a sport body. 4-door Blazer. I can show you a picture of it later on. But it's a white Blazer coming this way. By this time, Paige has already turned down on Markland. Turn right on Washington, heading towards downtown. She gets to about right here, and decides to start turning over this way. You see the fire hydrant right there? I started getting like hypersenses, like my hearing, it was like the surrounding smell. Every sense was heightened, because even I was feeling that uneasy feeling. Somebody's watching me. I don't like this feeling. A unseen enemy is a very deadly enemy. You don't know where they're coming from, what direction, if they're going to hit you from the alley, go from behind you when you're looking down this way. Didn't know exactly where that was coming from, but you felt some eyes on you. The uneasy feeling that apparently was the same feeling she was having the whole time, I was really feeling it. And this is as Paige is pulling in. What I'm getting at on the Blazer is it about T-boned her about right in here in the road. And what I'm getting at is she about got T-boned right here pulling in. Me and kind of Karena looked at each other, backed up in the alley, gave her room to get in, and we kind of went like back here. Right up here where my gloves are, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to turn my phone light on. Kind of see where my gloves are. That's where the passenger side door of Paige's 4-door SUV came to a stop. stop. So we kind of walk back this way. The handle is about right here, and if you look down to where my gloves are, she moved over a little bit to open with her right hand the car door. Open the door up, backed up a little bit, and where you see my gloves right there is where her foot last left the pavement. And mind you, it was a pretty cold night, not like tonight, which is actually pretty warm tonight, but it's usually pretty mildly cold to the point you just want to get home. It's not freezing, but it's getting to the point you can start to really feel it. It eats at you. It's pretty darn nippy cold. My hands are getting numb. Face is a little bit wind burnt, and like I said, it's not freezing, but it's pretty darn near felt like it with the wind. I end up sitting right here with my bike, and Paige looked at me, and Karena was like, "Hey, he's been sitting here waiting with me. You mind if he smokes a couple cigarettes with us, and let him warm up, throw the heater on, kind of let us both warm up before he continues back home." For helping her, she kind of spoke up and helped me. And give me a second, I'm going to get my things because my hands get all kinds of dirty. I got back, and to move my bike, I end up when she closed her door, I kind of came up this way, maneuvered my bag, backed it up, opened the side door on the back seat to her Tahoe is about right here. Opened the passenger side rear door, got in, and I made sure to put my bike directly in between the door and the inside of the cab. I know it was cold. The whole point is getting into the car is to stay warm, get warmed back up, get feeling back in my hands, kind of just sit and relax, kind of de-stress, because it wasn't so stressful once she was in the car. She kind of got quiet, and I'm sitting back here warming up, just lit a cigarette, ashing it out the window, and just carrying a conversation. I used to do tattoos. I ended up looking at Paige Turley's right forearm. Noticed the tattoo looked like of a face. Well, on that tattoo, it had numerous cutting marks, breast scratches, new scars, and still scabbed over, so it's real fresh. Kind of asked her, I was like, "Hey, that's a real nice piece. Why'd you deface the piece like that by scarring it up and cutting yourself? Why would you do something like that?" This is her mindset, and I'm going to let this sink into you. The girl I'm with now didn't like the fact the female I had on my arm, her tattoo was my ex. So the one I'm with right now, she doesn't like the whole fact of literally having a tattoo of her ex on her arm. So to appease her, she started attacking her own forearm, slicing her forearm up, scarring up the tattoo up and down. And the tattoo is about 3.5, 4 inches long on her forearm. Nice shadowing. It looked like the hair and everything like what you'd expect out of a facial pic. Remember this conversation vivid because seeing that cut up tattoo, my asking, why would you destroy a piece of art like that and it looks like somebody's face? It looks something of value to you. Why would you do that? That's a conversation that it burnt in my mind. I've smoked about 2 cigarettes right now. I'm kind of getting warm, kind of getting toasty. My door's still open. My tire and my bike's still in there. Karena's looking. She's like, "I'd like to get going now. Look, I've had a really bad night." It's like, she kept saying thank you. Can't thank you enough. It means a lot to me. It made me kind of feel good. Felt like I did a good deed on my way home. Well, I got out, got on my bike, and moved it up here, got out of their way, and I did get like 2 cigarettes off of Paige. Right before she left, and before I got out of the vehicle, she's like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I just got out of the bar, dropped her off at home, I shouldn't really even be driving right now. Which would explain why she darn near got T-boned, wasn't using her mind driving. I didn't really think of the thing till right before I got out. This is one thing that kicks me in my gut, turns my stomach. I shouldn't even be driving right now. Kind of was a joke, and even Karena's kind of giggling about it. It's like, okay. But mind you, we smoked 2-3 cigarettes. I got 2 cigarettes off of Paige. I broke one as I was getting out, so I only had pretty much 1 cigarette left. I'm sitting here, backed up. Again, lit my cigarette. By this time, they're backing out, going towards this way, to where she can back out her Chevy Tahoe, and I think it's Tahoe. I'm going to have to look back in the pictures to show you when she exactly, shortly after Karena's case, she sold that truck. I do have that in written hard evidence. But right now, I got my cigarette lit, and they're starting to go down Markland. They're not going too fast, but I'm still kind of being over here. And I see the road. Karena's still my eyesight. I'm sitting here not really even trying to push real hard, but kind of kept up with the vehicle. You could still see Karena kind of looking outside, she was kind of starting to hunch over the closer I got down here to Markland. Tell you, even in a vehicle, she did not feel comfortable with him by seeing. You could see her kind of slouch towards the window, kind of hunched down where she wasn't really being seen. Again, like I said, we had a fluent conversation. She didn't seem messed up. Right before they left, she was like, I really like to get going, and she started really quieting up. Well, I'm still seeing them right here, and they picked up a little bit more speed. Second out of respect. I got my cigarette lit, kind of just keep rolling. Hey, you got an extra cigarette I can get off of, man?
Yeah.
You're not my cigarette, so it's my buddy.
Is that
Go ahead, bud.
Thank you, bro.
Go ahead.
He's like a light.
Nah.
You good?
Yeah.
You have a good one, man.
Hey, God bless. Be safe, you guys. As you see, I'm pretty friendly and get along with people. I just got a cigarette off somebody. Sorry. I'm out of cigarettes right now and left them back in my bag. Where I've got my stuff sitting and set up where I can spend the night. Kind of decided kind of looks like a walk, kind of with myself down here, kind of doing the exact same thing I've done the last 3 years. And what I'm getting at is I'm calling Paige Turley, Gabriel Sebastian Ellis, Sierra Daly, among others, Paul Hillman, Pudge Papacello, aka Reggie Valentine, the cartel-fed Kokomo drug ring. Calling every single one of you out, and especially you, Paige Turley, which, mind you, shortly after Karena leaving with you, I had to get a protective order on as an active FBI informant. My nerves are shot. I'm trying to keep it together, not really break down. But what I always do every year, and I'll show you, I'm going to do it now just like I do every year. I can video it for later, and I can upload it if people want it, or if I get a comment, I can show you the rest of the route I took. And by the time they went up to Markland, they went up there took a left on Markland, heading towards the Kokomo Mall. So by that time, I seen them kind of go, and I didn't see them anymore after they hit right about where the black car is. I lost sight of Karena. After they've turned, I could only see Paige driving, and they kept going down Markland towards 931, 31, whatever you want to call it. But this is what I'm going to show you I do every year, and it's going to be hell on me. I don't have much. I'm kind of roughing it. Santa, friend of mine's not really a whole lot of money in food, feed myself, let alone gas money to get back home. I'm still working on that, but there's a couple of people they should be able to help me, and it's to help make sure I get a secure ride home. But you're gonna see what I do about every year. I sit here and give me a second. I'm gonna get situated. Let me pull this down real quick because I get myself out of the chair. Bear with me. I know it's not the best thing hearing me grunting all that. Alright, I can do this. My legs are not feeling the best today, so I'm going to probably try to sit Indian style. And sorry about that, I didn't mean to go up down. I grabbed my phone wrong. Okay, hopefully I'm going to try to keep the wind off. And what I usually do, I did it earlier before I really started the video. It's kind of personal. I sit here and call me nuts, call me whatever you want. Just sit here and have a conversation. Almost like she's still here. Part of what I'm doing is when I come here each year on the year mark, today being 1,095 days since Paige Turley took her to whereabouts unknown. Pretty much took her to her death. Paige Turley is the main issue when it comes to being the ride. How's she not charged being a drug felon on felony probation? Methamphetamine. Using a Walton address over towards Delphi that when I was getting the protective order, it came back falsified address. How could he be a drug felon in Kokomo living at, come to find out, Apperson Way Apartments? The same ex that was the picture on her arm reached out to me, knew I was having issues trying to get a protective order served against Paige. It's about 24 hours after I made the post. I've been asking around, does anybody have a good address? Because they're having a hard time getting a warrant served. Not warrant, but a protective order served against Paige Turley. I started getting harassed after that night. I had almost 3 attempted break-ins. I got some pictures that's showing just that. Screen doors all messed up, kind of kicked in, wouldn't shut. That's one of the weirdest ones I had at the apartment. But, what I'm getting at is, I already did it earlier, but I'm going to say it now. It just seemed like I told her then. It's just hard because I almost blame myself. Is there something else I could have done? Could I have said something to the FBI agent that was over me as being a federal informant? I wasn't just a regular citizen that night. I didn't do the gangs. I didn't do the drugs. wasn't a snitch or a bitch. What I dealt with was terrorism threats, left and right extremism, along with foreign terroristic threats with the JTTF, Joint Terrorism Task Force. Freedom of information request put in. I was ordered. I'm getting my full docket, my full dozer to back up some of what I'm saying. I come here. I already did it earlier. Kind of it was private. Kind of didn't spend too much time. Didn't want anybody thinking I'm nuts. But I'm sitting here talking to Karena and saying, like I've done the last 3 years now, 1,095 days. I've watched a family being, and like I was telling her, I watched your family being terrorized, harassed, disrespected, disregarded, pushed down, beat down, shoved down. Going into 1,094 days, our grandmother was told they won't even do a story that she's missing. 3-year reunion like they promised to do. So they took it and they're sending it to the cold case files. By now, I'm sitting here kind of just letting some stuff out, venting it out. Not gonna lie, I'm not really emotional, but I'm sitting here. It hit. I'm blaming myself. Is there something I could have said? Is there something I could have done better? Tried harder? Did different? Could I have convinced her not to leave with Paige after the comment right before I got out? I shouldn't even been driving. Didn't really hit me until after they left, and then I'm sitting here thinking, she just said I should not be driving. It didn't feel right. I let her go with somebody that just said that, but I'm not your boss. I'm not your keeper.